All right, the big political face-off of the day. A day after Young Indian office in New Delhi was sealed by the Enforcement Directorate, the political fight over this crackdown intensified. The probe is inches away from the first family of the Congress party, but the top brass is brazening it out. Twice Rahul Gandhi today said that no one can barricade the truth and he is willing to fight it out with the Modi Sarkar.
ये सोचते हैं कि थोड़ा सा मतलब प्रेशर डाल के हमें चुप कर देंगे, हम चुप नहीं होने वाले हैं। जो इस देश में नरेंद्र मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी कर रहे हैं लोकतंत्र के खिलाफ, उसके खिलाफ हम खड़े रहेंगे, चाहे कुछ भी कर दें। कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, हम इंटिमिडेट नहीं होंगे, हम नरेंद्र मोदी से नहीं डरते हैं। समझ गए बात? कर लें जो करना है।
मोदी से तो मैं मतलब बिल्कुल नहीं डरता हूँ।
तो जो कि घर के बाहर बैरिकेडिंग हुई है उसको कैसे देखते हैं आप सर?
और लगाएं और बैरिकेडिंग करें।
और सर आपको जिस तरह से कल AICC मुख्यालय को भी बैरिकेड किया गया,
सच्चाई को बैरिकेड नहीं करा जाता।
Comments was made as Rahul Gandhi was entering parliament. The issue echoed in the Rajya Sabha as well. Leader of opposition in the upper house, Mallikarjun Kharge, was summoned by the Enforcement Directorate as he is the principal officer of Young Indian. But Kharge asked if it was appropriate to be called in the middle of a parliament session. This, the Congress said, is typical of Modi Amit Shah Raj.
विरोधी पार्टियों को दबाने के लिए हर कोशिश सरकार के ओर से की जा रही है। अरे यू रिप्लाई ऑन दैट वन, यू रिप्लाई, आई विल लिसन, अरे आई विल रिप्लाई, डोंट लिसन, इन्होंने किया।
हाउस स्टैंड्स एडजर्न 12 noon.
All right, so who is trying to barricade the truth? China NC spokesperson of the BJP will be joining us in just a while. Kailash Adhikari, MD of Governance Now. Gokul Chandran, political analyst. Ravi Srivastav, also political analyst. Kailash Adhikari, कौन डराने की कोशिश कर रहा है राहुल गांधी को?
डराने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहा है किसी को, कानून अपना काम कर रही है. The law enforcement agencies, they are competent agencies run by competent people. If they have some incriminating evidence, naturally by law and now recently by the Honorable Supreme Court order, they have constitutionally validated the PMLA Act. So the Enforcement Directorate is just doing its job. यहाँ पे कोई किसी को डराने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहा है. इस तरीके से पार्लियामेंट पे यही मुद्दा उठा के कांग्रेस खाली जनता का समय वेस्ट कर रही है. And the entire resources of the country, the taxpayers' money, which should go actually in passing bills and in discussing, debating bills, that is going in just trying to manifest or answer or seek answers, or just by destroying the time of the parliament for your own personal political pressure points, nothing else.
Mr. Gokul Chandran.
Yeah, good evening, Padmaja. See the timeline. 2012, Mr. Subramanian Swamy files the case, and for 2 years UPA was in power, and from 2014 the same government, Modi government, came to the power, and imagine for last 8 years they have not done anything in finding the money trail or where the money came from, and today suddenly after 8 years they want to search the premises of
Is that
Young
true,
India.
Kailash Adhikari? For 8 years nothing was
Till today
done?
what they were doing?
Since
or till
2014?
yesterday what they were doing?
Explain what was done in the last 8 years in the AJL case.
Now they want to divert attention from the...
Let's find out, no, what was done for the last 8 years. Kailash Adhikari, what was done for the last 8 years?
But these are complex investigations. You know, when an investigation starts, this is not something, you know, like a rat picker case that the police can solve or any department can solve within 5 to 10 days. If something has been found in 2012, and this particular case has had a chronology. First a complaint was made, and then an income tax department probe was done, then a trial court order was done, after which the Enforcement Directorate came into picture and started investigating. So naturally, and if you look at any such cases, even the cases where other political leaders are involved or some business houses are involved, Padmaja, it does not get happened or solved overnight. It naturally takes a course of period. And this is not a very simple कि किसी ने आया घर चुरा के कोई एक सामान चुरा के लेके गया, कल पुलिस ने उसको पकड़ लिया. So you can't expect that overnight and within a fortnight results. So naturally this takes time. And the law enforcement agencies will also take their own time because they need
you know very well
they follow a certain pattern.
How? Yeah. See, Padmaja, you know very well how many offices, how many buildings of this particular case are involved and how many people are involved. Okay, so to search a premises, you are taking 8 years. Okay, the ED took over the case somewhere in 2015 and you are taking again 7 years to search a premises, the only premises which is involved in the case, and you got time only now to search because Congress party has planned an agitation tomorrow against the price rise of Modi government. So is this the appropriate time for ED to conduct a raid? So this clearly shows they are not interested in raids.
Actually, the Enforcement Directorate says the only reason that the office was sealed yesterday is because Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge did not cooperate. There were questions which were supposed to be asked that did not happen. He came and he left.
Padmaja, it is... Padmaja, this you are talking about yesterday.
Yes.
What they were doing in the last 7 years. Why no probe or search happened? And do you, Padmaja, one more important question. I'll tell you a big joke, okay? Do you really think somebody will leave any papers in Young India office for that the ED to come and find out, because they know Mrs. Sonia Gandhi was called and interrogated, Mr. Rahul Gandhi was called and questioned, and even after that, people who think that ED will find out some papers from AJL office are fools. So ED also knows nothing is there. They just want to divert the issue from the main issues.
But why would they remove the papers if they have nothing to hide, Mr. Chandran? Why would they remove any papers from AJL office if you have nothing to hide? Are you suggesting they have something to hide, that they'll remove the papers before ED comes?
This does not lie on the other party.
No, listen, you told Padmaja, you told that there were some Hawala documents which they have traced out. Do you think there will be Hawala documents in the Young Indian office even today? Do you really think as a journalist that the trail of Hawala transactions will be left in Young India office? Who are you making to make?
Okay, Shaina NC, who are you fooling?
So bad.
Rahul Gandhi today says, "मैं मोदी जी से डरने वाला नहीं हूँ." You really think that the Hawala documents would be lying there, a bank transaction document would be lying there for you and your government and your ED to find?
Padmaja, first let's go back in time and find out when did this entire case started. It was not the doing of the Bharatiya Janata Party, it was that of an independent whistleblower, in this particular case, Subramaniam Swamy. Now, if the ED takes cognizance of substantive evidence, you say it's a witch hunt. If they don't, you say they're not doing their job. My limited point is that in the current scenario, we have only wanted to have the Enforcement Directorate, which is an independent agency, do what is within the purview of law, and to prove that nobody is above the law, and as law-abiding citizens, I don't see why Mr. or Mrs. Gandhi should have any problem. If there is no wrongdoing, let it be submitted in a court of law. And I just want to make one point that, they're saying we are not scared of Prime Minister Modi. What does Prime Minister Modi have to do with this? There are serious issues and causes he is taking on and working tirelessly as a Prime Minister. He has not gotten to petty politics. It's not a tutu-meme slugfest. If there is substantive evidence, then I think that evidence needs to be addressed and they need to come up with whatever their answers are in a court of law.
And if the case was without merit, it would have been thrown out by the court.
First of all,
this matter is anyway in court, right? If it was without merit, the court would have said, get lost. This is a rubbish complaint.
First of all, no evidence is substantive, no evidence is enough unless it is corroborated in the court of law. That is simple. So whatever you say, incriminating document, Hawala operator, who is the Hawala operator? Name him. Tell us that who is the Hawala operator. Where is the money trail? Nothing. It is only a narrative being created. Just to intimidate, just to insult, just to humiliate, and just to threaten. That, so that they don't raise up the issues. The issue is not a DP picture today. The issue is the GDP today, madam. That's more important. The price rise, the unemployment, the ED's work. These are the issues before public, and everybody is seeing it. The whole country is seeing it. The kind of nonsense is being done in the name of जांच हो रही है. पूछताछ करेंगे।
आपके हिसाब से कैसे होनी चाहिए जांच सर?
टुगेदर
अगर ये नॉनसेंस है तो जांच कैसे होनी चाहिए?
होनी चाहिए, हुई थी ना, 114 रेड हुई थी 2004 से लेके 2013 तक, तब जांच नहीं हुई थी क्या? ईडी काम नहीं करता था तब क्या?
कैलाश अधिकारी,
जांच हो रही थी।
which case are you talking about?
जांच होने लगी।
Which case are you talking about, sir?
3000 केस बना दिए और 10 आदमी कन्विक्ट हुए, अब जांच हो रही है।
But which cases are you talking about? I am talking about young Indian.
एजेंसी,
I am talking about young Indian. Talk about this case.
कल जाकर के एक कमरे में ताला लगा दिया, नेशनल हेराल्ड का ऑफिस सील, क्या सील कर लिया? एक कमरे में टेम्पररी ताला लगा दिया जाकर के, ये सीलिंग है। जस्ट टू गिव एन इंप्रेशन टू द पब्लिक, ए परसेप्शन कि ये चोर है, ये बेईमान है। और सही कहा राहुल गांधी।
आप क्यों ये शब्द बोल रहे हैं? Nobody has said चोर है. Why are you using these words? Very wrong.
अरे आप लोग का परसेप्शन ही यही है, आपका नैरेटिव ही यही है।
अरे नैरेटिव क्या है? ताला लगाए तो लगाए भाई।
This is assumption. Padmaja, this is pure assumption.
अभी बोले थे इन्होंने चोरी की है।
कैलाश अधिकारी,
चोर करेगा।
And I use the word incriminating because अगर incriminating नहीं होता तो investigation सबसे पहले शुरू ही नहीं होता।
क्या incriminating है यार, शो करो ना।
मैंने कहा बोला कि वो गुनहगार है।
चार्जशीट फाइल करो ना, क्यों नहीं करते? 9 साल से 10 साल
करेंगे ना इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एजेंसी,
डॉक्यूमेंट फाइल इन्वेस्टिगेटिव
आप
एजेंसी।
अभी करके ये कह रहे हैं
बीजेपी की वॉशिंग मशीन में कोई नहीं डॉक्यूमेंट,
The law is taking its own course.
अरे बीजेपी की वॉशिंग मशीन में कोई डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं मिला क्या अभी तक? हेमंत बिश्व शर्मा घूम रहा है, मुकुल राय घूम रहा है, नारायण राणे घूम रहा है, उनके कागज नहीं मिलते।
Okay, every time you cannot keep doing this whatabouty, sir. The simple, Mr. Srivastava, hold on a second. First you say कि तुमने कुछ खास किया नहीं, तुमने जाकर के एक छोटा सा ताला लगा दिया. Then you are saying कि वही ताला intimidatory tactic है. You are just scoffing at that ताला, saying कि तुमने क्या कर लिया, जाके एक छोटा सा ताला टेम्परेरी लगा दिया. अरे छोटा ताला लगाया है तो आप इंटिमिडेट क्यों हो रहे हैं फिर?
कोई इंटिमिडेट नहीं हो रहा. Who is getting intimidated? Is Rahul bothered? Is Sonia Gandhi bothered?
So nobody is bothered, na?
They are cooperating with your.
So then why are you calling it a witch hunt? If nobody is bothered, nobody is intimidated, everyone's happy, everyone's cooperating, the sun is shining, great, good for everyone.
आपका ही टिकर है ना, बट राहुल झुकेगा नहीं.
Trying to intimidate, trying to intimidate.
क्यों झुके राहुल? राहुल ने कुछ गलत किया?
But Mr. Srivastava just said, Gokul Chandran, कि छोटे से ताले से कोई intimidate नहीं होता. It's a stupid thing to do. So good. Nobody is intimidating anyone. Nobody is getting intimidated.
राहुल गांधी को 50 घंटे इसमें इंटरोगेट किया. आपने सोनिया गांधी को 3 दिन तक इंटरोगेट किया.
अरे that is because 50 घंटे इसलिए इंटरोगेट किया because again and again he was asked why was there an unsecured loan given. He blamed it on somebody who's not even there. He blamed it on Motilal Vora. Said I had no idea. तो भाई then somebody will have to keep asking those questions, right?
Total 12 question है.
Padmaja, no, this is wrong, Padmaja.
No, this is also wrong. That first you say that questioning is a part of intimidation, searches are a part of intimidation, sealing is a part of intimidation, and then you're like, why isn't investigation happening?
Padmaja, can I come in?
Yes, Mr. Chandran, how do you want an investigation to happen?
May I also?
Yes, Shaina, just come to you after that. Gokul Chandran.
Nobody is... Yeah, Shaina, see, what we are trying to say is BJP government, the Modi Shah duo is trying to intimidate, but we are not going to get intimidated by these tricks. That's what I want to say. And before that, one more thing.
What part of this is intimidating, sir? Which part is intimidating? Name the part. Is the lock intimidating? Is the questioning intimidating?
Because...
What is intimidating?
Because tomorrow Congress party has planned a big protest across the nation against the price rise, against the GST and increase in fuel prices, and to shut that up, to threaten the Congress party and the Congress leaders. The Modi government is using ED to silence the Congress party.
Today you were in Parliament, you were upset with it, you spoke in Parliament, Rahul ji spoke twice in Parliament. Yeah. Tomorrow also you will take out and you will speak. Who's shutting you up?
Yeah.
Jail में थोड़ी ना डाला है.
See, because they know very well, that's the thing, Padmaja, that's a psychological move.
Psychological move, Shaina NC. This is psychological warfare. The barricading, the PAC outside the house, the CRPF, psychological.
Padmaja, one more thing regarding the word used by Shaina.
I asked one question.
Just a second, Mr. Chandra, I'll just come back to you. Let Shaina NC respond.
Corruption?
Yes.
Are you against corruption? Are you against any kind of entitlement? Are you against political insulation? Are you against independent agencies working on the premise of evidence procured? Are you against the entire systemic cleanup that needs to be done years ago but is happening now? I think that we need to soul search. The Enforcement Directorate, Padmaja, has collected thousands of crores of ill-gotten wealth, not just of politicians, but be it money laundering, be it hawala cases, be it, all kinds of wrongdoing. Now, in this particular case, when Subramaniam Swamiji brought up the whole National Herald case, there were lots of people who really rubbished it off. It is today when the Enforcement Directorate has so much substantive evidence that they have sealed the place. If there is a hue and cry, I want to ask that if you have done no wrong, why is Mr. Gandhi so worried? Why is the Congress party so hassled? Why is Sonia Gandhi so bothered if she has done no wrong and the organization has done no wrong? So if there is a fight back in court, yes.
Fight back in court.
But based on substantive evidence, don't reduce the credibility and the work and the accountability of the Enforcement Directorate, because there has been nothing but transparency in this case.
Respond to that.
And the Bharatiya Janata Party and our Prime Minister has many important things to do rather than focus on one odd case here and there. This is systemic and this is based on evidence.
Yeah, Shaina, when the government tries to make false charges, put up false cases and try to tarnish your image, even though you have not done anything wrong, you will be worried and you will question that. There is a simple thing. You cannot say you have not done anything wrong, then why are you afraid? Because the government is trying to tarnish the image of individuals and a political party. And the second thing, Shaina, in your earlier comment, you used an inappropriate word. I don't know if you done it purposefully or by mistake. You said Mrs. and Mr. Gandhi. No, that is not the right thing, I hope you will correct it.
Huh? Okay, I do not know
Sonia
what that
Gandhi is. Mrs. Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi is Mr. Gandhi. Yeah.
No, don't try to cover up. You said a wrong word.
When you told that, you told.
And who wants to intimidate?
No, nothing here to cover up here. Come on, shut up.
Okay. All right. Nobody is going to please. Come on, Mr. Chandra. Nobody is going to use that kind of language. What are we doing? Yeah. What is this shut up and all that? Please, let's be civil to each other. Would you like to clarify what you were saying? Because disrespect.
Talking to Shaina.
There should be no disrespect to anyone. Shaina NC, would you want to clarify what it is that you meant there?
Isn't Mrs. Sonia Gandhi Mrs. Gandhi, sir? Isn't Mr. Rahul Gandhi Mr. Gandhi, sir? And I've never ever been impolite to any panelist ever. My limited point is, let the morale of the independent agencies, be it the CBI or the Enforcement Directorate, send out a loud and clear message across the board to all political parties that gone are the days of political.
Are you satisfied with the explanation, Mr. Chandran?
You believe you can just do anything and have it overlooked.
No. What I meant to,
you can seek your submissions. But if there is Subramaniam Swamy's evidence which has
one second
and which has been acted upon,
okay, fine, Mr. Chandran.
Just play this political witch hunt one-upmanship.
No, and I see nothing offensive, but I don't know if she had intentionally done that. She used Mr. and Mrs. Gandhi.
No, she has just clarified that she did not. It was Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. Can we please move on now to the more substantive part of the debate? It has been made absolute. It has been made absolutely clear. All right, I'm going to thank you at this point. The point being made over here is this is an ongoing investigation. This is an investigation which is also before the court. It is also an investigation where bail has been sought and bail has been given. To call it intimidation, does that really cut ice? We leave it in the court of the people. Thank you very much, all gentlemen and China NC, for joining me.